Hey y'all, it's Megan. Thanks for stopping on over to another video. And this week, we are gonna talk about the best show that was probably ever graced our presence, the Ultimatum Queer Love Season 2. We're only gonna be talking about episodes 1 through 3, so no spoilers. No spoilers in the comments. Please, please, please. I have tried to avoid spoilers. I know that some crazy shit's gonna go down in this next batch of episodes 4 through 7. So next week we're gonna get into some crazy shit. I'm really excited to watch it and kind of see how everything goes down. I only got spoiled like 1.5 things, but I have been I've looked at comments and I see that just basically some crazy shit's gonna go down. So I'm really excited about that, but that'll be for next week. This week we're gonna break down, we're gonna meet the OG couples. As you see, we have our lovely little cork board here, just like we had for Battle Camp, but I don't know if we're gonna use it as much as we did in Battle Camp. But we'll go through the OG couples, we'll kind of go through their whole dating period, and then we'll discuss the new couples, and that'll kind of be the end. I'll have the first impressions of the new couples, and then as soon as I'm done filming this video, I'm gonna be going and sitting down on my bed and watching the rest of the episodes that are out right now, so we can get the next part over done ASAP, right? Very excited. And for some reason, if you don't know, The Ultimatum is a show where there are, I believe, there are 6 couples that come together. One wants to get married right now. One is like, I don't know if I want to get married. I don't know if I want to get married to you or just in general, right? So one gives an ultimatum. They're like, hey, marry me now or we're donezo, right? Right. So we got the ultimatum giver and then we have the ultimatum receiver, right? Simple enough. They all come together on this show, and then they all kind of split up. They're now single. We now have 12 singles, and then they all date each other, which is awesome because there's so many more people in the queer version, so many more people that others can date in the queer version rather than in the straight version. Because in the straight version, you have 6 men, 6 women. The 6 men date the 6 women and 5 women because they can't date their OG partner. But in the queer love, they're all dating each other. It's great. I love it. It's amazing. So anyway, they're all dating for I think 5 days, and then at the very end they all come together and they choose who they want their trial marriage partner to be, and then they spend, I believe it's, how many weeks is it? 3 weeks. Anyway, they spend some time in trial marriages to see, hey, this is how marriage works. Then they go back to their OG partner and spend the same 2 to 3 weeks together in trial marriage with their OG partner. And at the end, they either choose to get engaged and leave together, they choose to go and date their new partner, or they leave single, right? Right. Okay, without further ado, let's go meet these awesome, for the most part, wonderful people, right? Right. Okay, so we're gonna start with the very, very, very first impressions of the people that are on this board and their couples. I'm talking the first 5 minutes of episode 1 when we're seeing all the couples talk to each other. That's all I'm discussing. I know a lot of these first impressions are wrong because I've seen episodes 1 through 3, so I know. But just remember, these are the very first. This is how I thought that they were as couples, right? Right. Okay. So for our first couple, we have Kyle and we have Bridget. Both use she/they pronouns. And Kyle's the ultimatum giver, Bridget is the receiver. Bridget, from what it looks like in this first episode, just doesn't believe in marriage. She's just, she's not into it. Kyle, totally into it. They've been together for 2.5 years, and I love their communication style. I thought they were really cute together. I love all the little touchy feely. I root for them, right? First episode, I root for them. Next, we have Haley and Pilar. They've been together for 10 years. 10 years. They were each other's first lesbian relationship, and they are also very freaking cute. Pilar, her family is very against any kind of LGBTQ relationship. So she waited 8 years to tell them that she was with Haley, and then they basically just disowned her. They stopped talking to her. It was very freaking sad. But that's what she's held up for about the marriage, or held up about. She's always wanted her, you know, family to be there at her wedding, and she can't really come to terms with the fact that that's not going to happen if she's marrying a woman. I felt quite a lot for Pilar throughout the whole episode. Well, throughout this whole series that I've watched so far. I felt very bad. I root for them. I do, or we're strictly speaking episode 1, I root for them, okay? The camera battery is dying. I'll be right back. I'm sorry if the angle's not the exact same. Okay, we're back with a fresh battery, and we're also back with our first impressions of couples. Mel and Marie, off vibes, right off the rip. I don't like them. They have, or really it's Mel. Mel gives me weird vibes right off the bat, and that doesn't change throughout this whole show. They've been together for 4 years, and they own a food truck together, which is gonna make everything real awkward if they don't work out, because y'all work together, my guy. And it's not just like y'all work together, like y'all own a business together. Wild. I love a food truck though, so, you know, bring me some food and maybe I'll change my opinion of y'all, okay? I don't root for them, not even a little bit, not even kinda, even a little. Then we have AJ and Brittany. Also right off the bat, like immediately, I loved them. Brittany seems like the sweetest person I have ever seen in my whole life. She seems to give AJ the world. AJ, I also really liked right off the bat. She seemed super nice, super like charismatic. And she said her parents have been together for 30 years. And then she said that she just wants to make sure that, you know, the person that she marries is someone that she can spend the rest of her life with, just like her parents are happy for 30 years. But they've been together for 5 years. Can you not decide in 5 years if that's someone, you know, you want to marry? Like, I know it's a lifelong commitment, but 5 years is a good amount of time to figure out your relationship and figure out if, you know, y'all do mesh well enough to do marriage together. And when AJ told Brittany that there's a chance that they could fall in love with other people during this 2-week process, after being together for 5 years, it broke my heart. It broke me. I couldn't. I mean, there's many reasons I couldn't and wouldn't be on this show, but that's one of them. That a possibility would break me. It would. No. So I don't think I'm rooting for them. Individually, first impressions, I root for them individually, not together. I don't love that for them. Then we have Megan and Dana. First impressions, I'm really trying to not get ahead of myself. So first impressions, unsure why they're here. They've been together for 1.5 years. You're giving an ultimatum after 1.5 years? Okay. But Megan also comes from an unsupportive family, just like Pilar does. And she's still trying to figure her shit out, and I think that's okay. But first impressions, I thought that Dana should find someone who is really willing to get married. And then I went back and forth because I'm like, it's only been 1.5 years. It's okay to not be sure after 1.5 years. I mean, and it's not even that she's not sure about Dana. It's just another sticky family situation that I think is totally valid. That's my thought. But I was initially rooting for them to figure it out and come back together. Then we have Marita and Ashley. Very first impressions, Also, why are you here but for a different reason? Marita does not like Ashley. Like, she doesn't. I think, first impressions, Marita's very sweet. Ashley seems nice, but also I just don't think they vibe well together. Marita wants someone who is like her in the sense that they are all out romantics. Like, I guess I'm jumping ahead here a little bit, but at one point she mentions on a date that she made Ashley a 98-page handwritten like novel with pictures and shit of their, like, detailing their relationship, right? So Marita wants someone who is also like super gung-ho romance. And Ashley seems to believe she's giving her romance, but it's not to the level that Marita wants. We also just, we don't see Ashley too much in this batch of episodes, so we may not be discussing her like a whole lot, just fun fact. But they have been together for 3 years. And I'm not even kind of rooting for them. Like I said, I don't even think Marita likes Ashley that much, like, if at all. So I'm rooting for them separately because I don't think either of them feels like a crappy person. Like, but I don't think they go well together, like, at all. So that's that. That's my first impressions of everyone so far. But let's discuss the dating period and really the rest of the show first before we get into who couples up with who at the end, right? Are we ready? I don't think we're ready. Okay, I'll start off with the same exact thought I had last season, which is, I love Cheyenne from Reba, but why is she hosting this show? I think I like her better than Nick and Vanessa Lachey as a host, but we missed the opportunity to either have a queer host or some sort of like marriage therapist or counselor, or both. Both would be cool. But if they're trying to get like a star, get a queer star. It's really not that hard. It's a queer show. She like is a straight married woman. Again, I like her. Not for this show though. Not for this show. So Netflix, do better. And also right off the bat, whenever everyone's meeting each other, all the couples are at a big old round table, there are lots of wandering eyes, like immediately. A bunch of these people are like gung-ho about dating everyone else, about being single, getting away from their partners, and just exploring, which I guess is part of this show, but it's also wild how ready y'all are. Few honorable mentions for that. We have Marita, who did admit, and I don't think I mentioned it a second ago, but did say she has wandering eyes, which is a wild thing to say to your partner. And also, again, why are you in this relationship? But she does follow through. She has wandering eyes at this table meetup. AJ also seems to have wandering eyes. We'll get into that in a minute, but from the get-go, she also seems really excited. Dana is all about it. She's just so happy. And then I think Marie was too, but now I'm kind of second guessing that. So I'm second guessing myself. I might be lying, so take that how you will. But I just want to reiterate, I'd be a sobbing mess at this point. If I had to break up with my partner and then go date a bunch of other people and watch them date a bunch of other people, like, I've lived with my ex-girlfriend before. It wasn't fun. So, like, I don't know how they're all so excited. But I can already kind of tell who might couple up with who at this point in the episode, and also who's probably not getting back together. Also kind of wild how many of the ultimatum givers are like chatting it up and vibing it with ultimatum receivers, because to me, a lot of these people just seem like they don't want to get married in general. So you're breaking up with your partner who is also an ultimatum receiver who doesn't want to get married, and then you're vibing and going with another ultimatum receiver who doesn't want to get married. So I feel like in like a year or two, you're just going to be in this exact same position, and you're going to be on season 3 of the Ultimatum Queer Love, because now you're giving an ultimatum to the new person who doesn't want to get married. Why are y'all doing that? It doesn't make much sense to me. Receivers should couple up with the receivers, and givers should couple up with givers. It's not like it shouldn't be a rule or anything, but I think it's silly. I think it's silly. Like, very silly. Y'all are silly. So in this dating period, you have AJ living her best life. Everyone and their mother is wanting AJ, and AJ couldn't be more excited. She's got the pick of the litter, you know. She is just so excited to date everyone, and she's really excited that everyone wants to date her. I go back and forth with my thoughts on AJ. Because there are quite a few girls in there who think that AJ is their strongest connection and that AJ is going to choose them. And a lot of the conversations that AJ is having with these girls that she's dating, a lot of them are very similar. And so the girls think that they're kind of the only ones that are having these conversations until Bridget clocks it and then is talking to Marita about it, because Marita is also all about AJ. Let's see here. Marie is all about AJ. Haley is kind of like half all about AJ. Everyone's just kind of vibing with AJ, and AJ is just super charismatic and super friendly. I've had people tell me too that like my niceness seems like flirting. I've been told that many a times. I don't get it. I'm just being nice, but I don't go about it like AJ does. I don't think it's just AJ being nice, because AJ actually is flirting with all, like, they're all dating, like they're supposed to. They're supposed to all be dating, but it's not just like AJ is being friendly with these people. No, AJ is full on flirting with these people and is like talking about sex and talking about traumas and talking about the fact that her mother is very open about sex and will ask you if you make her climax when you. Okay, she says that her mom would say something along the lines of, when you eat my daughter's do you make her come? Awful. Very awkward situation. But that's the kind of family that AJ is. So AJ's family is very open. I think AJ is very open. And I do think she could have played this a little better and not kind of made everyone think that she was all about them only. But I don't think that she's a villain. I don't think so. Yet. Again, I've only watched episodes 1 through 3. There's still lots to have. So all of these things can change. So AJ is kind of going with everyone, and there are a couple of people who are starting to realize that they're not the only ones that AJ is having a connection with. So some of them go and connect with other people, but not all of them. And then we have my fraternal name twin Megan and Pilar having conversations and bonding over the fact that their families aren't supportive. And honestly, that whole conversation just wrecked me. I felt very bad because they deserve to feel accepted by their family, and their families kind of suck. And then on to another Pilar conversation. Pilar and Bridget are also hitting it off. And Pilar and Kyle are also hitting it off. It's kind of like, it's a love triangle. Like Megan and Pilar, they were just having friendly conversations, bonding, but it didn't seem like it was going to go anywhere. Pilar and Kyle and Pilar and Bridget, they're kind of like in a little love triangle right now. But Pilar is talking to Bridget, and Bridget is explaining and Bridget basically says that she's not against marriage. She'd be cool to get married one day, which was surprising to me because I didn't think that's what she was saying at all in that first little 5 minutes. But anyway, Bridget says to Pilar that she's scared to lose the spontaneity in the relationship if she were to get married. She mentions this quite a few times throughout the part of the show that I've watched so far. She's just scared to lose the spontaneity, which is wild to me. Because, like, you can lose the spontaneity in any relationship, whether you're married or not. Any long-term relationship, again, married or not, it just takes work. If you're like, relationships aren't going to be like 100% high all the time. There's going to be some dips and some lows in there, and you just got to work together to bring that spark back. Like, y'all have known each other a while. If you're in a long-term relationship, you should know each other pretty well, what makes the other one tick, what they like, and just work together, communicate, bring that spark back. I just think it's an odd reason to not get married. I think that there are a lot of people on here who have, you know, kind of valid reasons for not wanting to get married, or at least married right now. I think this one's weird because you've only been with Kyle for 2.5 years. It's still, you know, it's a decent amount of time, but it's not forever. And if you're wanting to be with Kyle forever, just without the labels, which after watching it, I don't think that's the case. But if you wanted to be with Kyle forever, you just didn't want to label it as married, you're still gonna have to deal with possible spontaneity issues and it being monotonous. Like, you just have to work together to fix that. That's in any long-term relationship, my guy. I just think, like, any reason you want to not get married, you know, whatever, it's your personal reasons. But for this show, I think that's a silly reason to not get married. I will say, though, Pilar and Bridget, they're vibing hard. And then whenever it goes to Kyle and Pilar, I didn't think that, I thought that they were vibing, but I didn't think that they were vibing as hard as Pilar and Bridget. But this is also an edited show, and we see, like, an hour's worth of footage over the course of like 2 days. So that's just what I saw, right? And I do just also want to point out that the looks on the faces of the majority of these ultimatum givers when they're seeing their ex-partners hit it off so well with other people, it broke my heart. Especially the look on Brittany's face and the look on Megan's face watching AJ and Dana respectively go and date everyone else and like vibe it off so well. I felt very bad for them. Another reason, I like I said, I just couldn't be on this show. I would crash out, and then it'd be like a Huda situation on Love Island where the whole world just watched me crash out. And I couldn't handle that. So it's no go on this show. But another couple that's unfortunately hitting it off are the two most toxic people on this little, I was gonna say villa. It's not a villa, that's Love Island. But on this show right now, and that is Dana and Mel. They give me the grossest, ickiest vibes of anyone that has ever been on this show, I think. There were some icky people last season, so that could be just an over-exaggeration, because I don't remember everything that happened last season. It's been a couple of years, but I do not like them together. There's something about the way that they talk to each other that just seems so toxic.
Done with you. Hi, Trouble. How are you? How's your night?
I swear to God,
Tell me.
don't waste my time.
Bro,
I will run your food truck into the river.
okay.
It is weird. The vibes are off. I do not support this relationship. And I know I missed a lot of the dating stuff. I'm sure I did. Again, there were 3 episodes. This is not going to be a 3-hour long video. But I think I hit the majority of the main bullets there. And the episode ends with Megan and Dana in the room together, and Megan is basically saying she doesn't think she can do this. She wants to go home. That, you know, are you sure you want to be 3 weeks with like in a trial marriage with someone else. Like, it's not just a roommate, like you're gonna be doing marriagey stuff together, and I don't know if I could get back or come back from y'all getting physical. And Dana basically says that you always run when it gets hard, and yes, I do want to spend 3 weeks doing marriage stuff with another person. At which she said yes to Megan asking if she's sure she wants to do marriagey stuff with another person. When Dana said yes, my jaw hit the floor. It's like Max on Ginny and Georgia whenever Ginny like punched what's his face, Bryce Snow. What's the scary dude's name? I just finished that. Why can't I remember? Like, oh, what's his name? Scary dude. Okay, well, my jaw dropped to the floor like when she punched Scary Dude, right? It's on the tip of my brain. It keeps almost coming out. Anyway, well, I'll put it on screen, I'm sure. But anyway, my mouth dropped to the floor. That would break my soul in many pieces if my partner said that to me. I just don't like how Dana's talking to Megan. You said you would do this. You said you would do certain things. Okay. And my consent can be withdrawn at any time, because I'm sure that the idea of being on this show and actually experiencing watching your partner actively date everyone else and know that they're probably gonna get intimate or physical in some shape or form is very different than like actually doing it is very different than just thinking about it. Consent can be withdrawn at any point. It is okay if she does not want to do this show. It is also okay if you do still want to do this show, Dana, and that means y'all break up. I get it. I guess maybe you have to be there together, because I guess then it'd be an uneven amount of people. But anyway, if y'all want to break up, then the whole point of the show, you've already figured it out. You're gonna leave it single, you're just gonna leave it a little bit early, and that's okay. I just think Megan should be able to leave if she wants to leave. But because she loves Dana so much, she decides to stay. Okay, so that was kind of the gist of episode 1, right? So on to episode 2, and it won't be nearly as long as episode 1 was. But for day 2, we are basically focusing on AJ being a hot commodity this whole time. Still, everyone obsessed, loves AJ, and AJ loves everyone. And at one point, Marita, while she's talking to AJ and they're vibing, Marita says that she used to have a music deal and now she just works in sales. And girly, I felt that, because I initially started off college to be a theater major, because I wanted to act in film and movies and TV, right? And now I work in auto insurance. I feel that. It's soul crushing. So I vibe with Marita. I think I like her. I just don't like her with her partner, because they don't like each other, or she doesn't like her partner. Episode 2 also heavily focuses on the love triangle thing between Pilar, Kyle, and Bridget. Pilar's just right in the middle of those two. She can't decide who she has a better connection with. And I kind of fell for it. That would suck. That'd be really awkward. We also see more Mel and Dana fuckboy vibes on both, and I really don't like. I guess they're kind of perfect for each other because they're both toxic. And again, this is a heavily edited show. This is heavily edited. I could be so off base. These could be the 2 nicest people in the whole world, and Netflix just did them dirty. I don't feel like that's the case, but reality TV is messy, and I know producers are messy, and so it could totally be the thing. But for the basis of the show, when we're talking about it, Dana, Mel, fuck boys, and kind of seem to be a match made in heaven. They're very, like, Dana seems so controlling, and Mel seems like she thinks that she's the hottest shit that's ever been shit before. That's not a phrase, but I don't know. She just gives me the ick just about every time she opens her mouth. Okay, and probably for my favorite part of this whole my favorite part of this whole episode, or really my favorite part in this whole batch of episodes so far, is whenever Megan and Haley are on a date. And they're vibing, they're hitting it off. I really like them together. And at one point, you know, they're like, everything is the same, everything they talk about, they agree with. And then Haley asks if Megan wants kids. Megan says, yes, I want 2 kids. Haley says that, okay, well then maybe we finally found something we don't agree on. I can't imagine carrying a child, that is so scary. And Megan says, well, I can carry them, and that kind of changes it. And I think that Haley just, maybe in her relationship, if they were ever gonna have kids, Haley was the one who would have had to have done it. Maybe Pilar also didn't want to have physically have children, so Haley assumed that she would have to be the one to do it. Or maybe it's because she feels like she's the more feminine presenting one, and society thinks that the more feminine presenting person in a lesbian relationship is going to be the one carrying the kids. Wild. That's not always the case. Actually, a lot of times that's not the case. But anyway, that changes something, and it also made me realize that I really want Megan and Haley to have babies and get married and spend the rest of their lives together, because they're soulmates, and I'm not dramatic at all. But that's what I want. Okay, like I said, episode 2, I wasn't gonna go into too hard because I actually kind of added some episode 2 things into episode 1 on accident, just a couple little comments. But episode 2, I went through the gist of what I wanted to go through. And then for episode 3, that's whenever when everyone's coupling up, we're recoupling and deciding who they want to do the trial marriage with. And then we're meeting all the new couples and seeing how they interact together as trial marriage couples. And so I will I'll discuss kind of what happened at the table before they chose each other, and then I'll remix this board and put the new couples together, and then we'll go over first impressions. And then we'll be done until the next video that I make, the part 2 to this little batch of episodes, which will probably be in 5 to 10 business days, because as you know, I am also in school right now, and it's really difficult to do full-time work, full-time school, and then do these YouTube videos on the same day every week. I'm trying, but I fail most of the time. So in 5 to 10 business days, we'll have a part 2 to this video, and then we'll go over it. But let's focus on episode 3 and who's coupling up with who. Right? Okay, so we all meet up at the table, and first fun thing that happens is that Bridget calls out AJ for kind of telling everyone the same thing and making everyone seem like that they were AJ's number 1, when in reality, I don't think AJ knew who AJ's number 1 is. AJ was just having the time of her life, vibing with everybody. But like, even Brittany comes to AJ's defense and was like, I'm not surprised that everyone and their mom loves AJ, because AJ's very charismatic, and everywhere AJ goes, people just seem to gravitate towards her. I get that. But that call out basically takes Bridget out of the running. So Bridget is no longer, I don't think, AJ is probably not gonna want Bridget in a couple anymore after that. But good for you, Bridget. I was rooting, I was cheering on the TV. Or I was cheering you on the TV. So I love that you did that. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little messy, but I enjoyed it. But AJ basically, during this thing, basically ends up saying that she's feeling Marie pretty hard. And Mel did not like that, which I thought was hilarious, because Mel was vibing it up with a couple of different people, including AJ's partner, Brittany. So I thought it was crazy how jealous, or the level of side eye that she gave whenever AJ said she was feeling Marie. It was hilarious. I enjoyed it. And I think that's just about it for like the kind of drama at the round table. There wasn't too much going on. The rest of the episode is them coupling up and then like living their first night in their trial marriage. So let me go fix this board, and then we'll discuss kind of what went down in the trial marriages, who's paired up with whose vibes I'm here for. And then I think that'll be it. That'll be that. So be right back. So In no particular order, we have our new couples. We have Bridget and Ashley, Pilar and Kyle, Mel and Dana, AJ and Marie, Megan and Haley, and by default, because neither of them were picked, which made me really sad, we have Marita and Brittany. Okay, so let's discuss the first feelings that I had of these couples after watching them their first night. So Bridget and Ashley, unsure how I feel about them. And I'm not sure if that's because the production team hasn't really featured Ashley almost at all. So I just don't know how I feel about Ashley, which means I don't know how I feel about them together. Make sense? There's just not much there initially. Pilar and Kyle, I like their personalities together. The first day, they were kind of iffy. Like, I don't know, Kyle just seemed really awkward, like really nervous, which it makes sense. It makes sense. But the first night they do cuddle, and I love that. So maybe we just got to give it a little bit of time, and maybe they'll open up some more. I do kind of know what happens in the next batch of episodes, like one thing that happens between them. I'm not gonna say anything, but I do hope that they like match and they do well together. But I do hope they mesh well together and they do well together, because I do like them both individually a lot, and I think together they could be a cute couple. Then we have Mel and Dana. Gross. I really just don't like them together. I don't like the way that they talk to each other. It feels gross. I don't know how many times I can say it. You just need to watch it to understand, but it feels gross. Icky. So that's how I feel about them. And I don't see that changing unless some crazy shit happens. But I am not rooting for them, even a little. Then we have AJ and Marie. Off the bat, it looks like they're vibing together really well. I'm unsure how I feel about them together, but it seems like they're vibing pretty well. I thought it was a little odd that Marie was like apologizing on behalf of other people for calling out AJ for flirting with everyone really hard. I thought that was a little odd, but their conversations seem nice. Nothing too crazy so far, like nothing too deep or anything bad so far. So they're 50-50, they might work out. I don't know yet. Megan and Haley, still obsessed with them. Still love these people. So off the bat, I really liked their communication together. I think that they're discussing like boundaries, expectations really well. One snores and one talks in her sleep, and so they're a match made in heaven, and I thought that was really cute. I guess it's not like a big thing, but I thought it was really cute. So I really enjoy them, and I hope they leave here together and not even just like dating. I want one of them to propose like immediately. Like as soon as they get the chance, like instead of Megan proposing to freaking Dana, she proposes to Haley. That's what I want. It's not gonna happen. And also, I guess I don't really want that. These are these people's real lives, and it would be probably not the best decision to get engaged after 3 weeks or 6 weeks or however long it is at the end here. But in my little head, that's all I want. So I love them so much. And then lastly, we have Brittany and Marita. Obviously, they were kind of put together. Brittany really wanted Mel. I don't know why. And Marita really wanted AJ. So since neither of them were picked by their respective people, they were placed together. Off the bat, they seem like they're friends. They seem like they have a good friendship going. It could really develop into like a bestie situation. I don't feel any romantic vibes so far. I can tell that like at the end of episode 3, you can tell that Brittany just really freaking misses AJ, and Marita gives her like the biggest hug that seems to fix it all, which I really liked. I'm really glad that Brittany has someone really sweet like Marita to be there for her whenever she's going through the negative emotions that are coming with the show and watching AJ vibe with someone else so hard. So I really enjoy them as a friendship couple. Again, it's only like night 1, so a lot of these conversations haven't gone super deep. A lot of people haven't gotten physical at all. So I don't know for sure if they're gonna progress into any kind of romantic vibe. But right now they're just giving besties, and honestly, I'm here for it. I thought it was really cute. The only thing is, with this whole thing, is kind of bringing it back to that point, I think the second point after I made the host comment, is that every single ultimatum giver is now paired up with an ultimatum receiver. Guys, we talked about this. It doesn't make any sense. So maybe reevaluate that, but can't help with who you vibe with, I guess. So that's the gist. That's what we've gotten through so far. Nothing crazy has happened. Nothing too crazy has happened yet. Just gotten some icky feelings from some of the contestants, or not contestants, the people. But like I said, I have been low-key kinda spoiled, but I don't know the specifics. But I do know last season we had Fingergate is what they called it, and this season something called Hookup Gate has happened. I know I know a couple of details. I don't know who the specifics are, but I know some crazy shit's going down in this next batch of episodes, so I'm gonna go stop filming right now and go watch the Ultimatum Queer Love episodes 4 through 7. I think it was only supposed to be 6, and then they released a 7th episode. Love that. So I'm gonna go watch those, and then I will see you guys in like I said, 5 to 10 business days with part 2 of this video, and we'll discuss all the drama and all the crazy shit that's going down, and I can't wait. But thank you so much for stopping by and sticking through the video, and I hope y'all have a great day. I will see you soon. Bye. Sorry if this video is a little all over the place. I have 4.5 pages of notes over here, and I was kind of gonna group things together so that I could talk about things in an order that made sense. But then I looked at these 4.5 pages of notes, and I said, Megan, please don't make me go through all these notes again and reorganize everything. And I'm a pushover, so I gave in to myself and I didn't do that. So I'm sorry I was a little all over the place, but it's fine. We enjoy the chaos, don't we, guys? We love chaos. Yeah.